cash drawer or whatever.
It's just one of the legal loops that we've got to jump to make sure everything's.
And I didn't know the gist of this until tonight. And I'm on the jail committee, and I didn't know this was coming either, so. But I will make a motion that we approve this resolution.
Because like you said, all this is just guaranteeing that if we decide to build, that we can recoup our money. Is all this is saying.
They really ain't no if to it. It's gonna happen. Unless somebody figures out how to lower the inmate population. And I think it's a worldwide problem.
Have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second to approve this bond?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All agree, say aye.
Aye.
No lifetimes.
I'll pass. Terry, how long ago was it when we done
3 years? No, we don't want.
I know, and it was bigger than what it was supposed to be.
No,
And they cut it and cut it and cut it. Now we're.
No.
It was done.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can you imagine what
Carl.
construction cost difference of 12 years ago and today? Exactly.
Double.
So we screwed up 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they 12 years ago, they doubled the
Yeah,
size of it.
fast.
Yeah, but they had the projections. They wanted to build it bigger.
Really?
Okay, that was the first
They had
thing
the
on
wrong
the agenda
architects to do
tonight.
it.
The second thing on the agenda tonight was, and we'll move this forward to budget and finance for the next meeting. The next thing on the agenda tonight is the EMS employee handbook. I'm sure everybody got a copy of this, and I don't have mine with me.
I'll let mine lay at the house.
Because I called Preston on the way to work.
Find out
I'm all right
about
up the
those
door.
state numbers. I'll find out about them numbers and the parole ones that's on violation, non-violent offenders. I'll find out about that too.
Did everybody get a copy of the handbook? Look good.
Looked good.
Okay, now I have a motion on the floor. Do we need to go read over it, anything, any updates or any changes?
They was one thing I read in there, and I was going, and I can't find it now, but you said, there was one thing in there that said that they could go in and eat for a short period of time, but not leave the truck running. I thought we had to leave the truck running.
We do, unless it's going to be like an extended. Whenever we was going through this, that was one of the things that Herschel had talked about. Like, we had an in-service training up here the other day, and we had a couple of crews that had to come up here to it, and on kind of some schedule conflicts, and so they were up here for like 4 hours.
So you cut them
So
off.
they turned them off while they were here.
Well, cut
Which,
them off.
a lot
How
of
long
it
does
depends
take
on
them
the
to
weather.
read? Okay.
You know, a lot of that depends on the weather. If it's 30 degrees outside, you got to leave the truck running. You don't have a choice. If it's 100 degrees, you're going to have to leave it running. You don't have a choice on account of the medications and the fluids that we carry with the temperature. But like right now, where it's, 60, 70 degrees, it's really not an issue. Or we had discussed, like, if, like say I'm working today and I go over here to Kroger to go in to get me something to eat, my partner's going to go in with me and we're going to be in there for 15, 20 minutes, to go in, get her stuff, get out. It's not going to hurt to turn it off for that amount of time. But if it's going to be an extended period with weather-related issues, then it would have to stay.
That's what it was saying. Certain times,
Yeah.
cut it off.
Yeah.
Is that all the questions we have about the rule book?
What I read, it looked like he addressed about everything I could think of.
Word for word, it looked good.
I don't have my copies. I can find the name.
I mean, every changes to come up.
It's the EMS
Or if
handbook,
not, I seen it wrong.
Okay, but I have it right down here correctly.
or is it emergency services, EMS? Shorten it up. All agreeance adopting the handbook.
Let's get a motion.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, have a second?
I'll second it.
All agreeance and approving the new handbook for EMS. Any opposed, like time? They are none. Group five.
Hang on just a second.
5-0.
Who seconded it? I forgot.
Carl.
Okay.
The bids that went out for the new ambulance remount, bids will be open April the 7th. And accepting the bids, and everybody that Preston has talked to has said about 6 months. Wait,
Yeah, the ones that I've talked to. No, I've only talked to 2 of them. I've talked to 2 of the 4 that are in the process of submitting bids. There's been 4 different companies that's contacted me with a couple of just little minor questions on some of the bids, like, well, you know, this says that this way, but what about this? And 2 of those that I've spoken with by phone, and I just asked what kind of timeline they were looking at. They all said, kind of like with the last deal, 90 days to get the chassis and prep it, and then 90 days to do the actual remount. The ones that I've talked to.
Did you quote it too in the four-wheel drive?
I did.
It says on the front.
We done the bid specs on the 2-wheel drive chassis, and then back it toward the end there.
Charles, if you'll go to 16, page 16.
Has an option tell you how much four-wheel drive.
Yeah, we done 2 options. We done the option to add it as a 4-wheel drive. That way it didn't commit us, you know, for
Right.
whatever. And then we done the option where we had talked about the 8 stretcher, we done it as an option. So when the bids are turned in, we'll have the price on the remount on a 2-wheel drive, and then we'll have the option to make it 4-wheel drive if we want to, and then we have the option to add the other stretcher if we want to.
How much it costs?
Yeah. I figured it would be better to do them as options, that way, you know, it didn't commit us completely to doing it.
What's the turnaround on getting the bids back in?
they'll be opened up.
The 7th,
April 7th.
May. When?
April 7th. Next
Oh,
week. Or
that's right.
this next week.
7th is Thursday. How long are you gonna leave that out?
They put it out for 10 days.
10 days.
They put it on the county website.
Was it May?
Charlie,
Or John?
I give Herschel the specs on the remount, and kindly look through them, and then he give them to Charlie, and then he posted them on the county website. And we had 4 different vendors that we've used in the past or dealt with, and so he went ahead and sent all 4 of them a copy of the bid specs. And I've heard from all 4 of the ones that he sent them straight to. I've heard from all 4 of them. And there's a couple of newer companies that are out there. So I don't know if we'll hear anything from them or not. I don't really know much about them myself.
Is, I think you told me this already, but is Dodge, out of all the 3, and Dodge, Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge on the one doing the big chassis?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you told me.
You can go with the Ford, but to do the Ford, you have to go up to that 650 or the 6. Yeah.
We've had a
That is-
nightmare with a four.
Yeah.
I'm talking nightmare.
Yeah.
But to go with them, you have to go to that commercial chassis. It's a F650 or whatever it is. It's huge. We went and looked at one in Georgia when we done the 2 internationals, and it won't fit in our building. I mean, the chassis is huge.
We don't need nothing that.
No. It's a lot bigger than the international and the Freightliner chassis. Yeah, really the only thing that would fit what we've got is the Dodge.
Yeah, okay.
And then Chevrolet switched from that C series, they went to that G series, so they still make the 4500, but it's in the G series, and it'll carry the weight, but it's not a Type 1, it's a van. and it's right at the max weight limit with the box and the equipment that we carry. So it's really not a safe option to go
Well, I
with
think we've
it.
had good service out of our Dodges, so
We have so far.
I don't hear nothing but good things about them when I go out there instead of the other ones. We just spent, how much on that international? $5,600?
The Freightliner?
Freightliner, I mean.
Yeah.
Is that Chevrolet running, or is it still down?
It's still running. It definitely has issues. And I talked with Roger, which kindly oversees all of our maintenance. And we went ahead and put in those bid specs on the trade-in on that Chevrolet, because I mean the turbo's fixing to go out on it. It's just a matter of time. And y'all know the whole deal with the suspension. We've had it
Roger told me Sunday that
played with a lot.
they're thinking about shutting it down and using
Yeah.
the old Ford.
The eight,
The
number eight.
Medicaid, the small Ford.
The number
Probably by next week, we thought very seriously about just going ahead and pulling Medic 2 off the road.
For what reason? Tell me that again.
The turbo's fixing to go out on it.
Yeah, I knew that.
And it's got an exhaust problem. It's actually got a small exhaust leak, and it's the manifold gasket basically. And the way that those Duramaxes are designed, you basically have to pull the motor to replace the gasket and stuff on it. So instead of that going down on the side of the road with us, we're thinking about going ahead and parking it and using it as a backup truck, just using it as we need it. Because like with the bid specs, we went ahead and done it as a trade-in, the chassis.
It's got what, 313?
It's it's in the teens.
I'm thinking, I looked at it, 313.
How many's eight got on it?
370.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Who made a gate?
Yeah.
It's got a new motor transmission.
Yeah, it's got a new motor, new transmission, new rear end.
Yeah.
I would have to look at paperwork to tell you how many miles are on it.
Right.
The truck has got somewhere around it's in the hundreds.
Well, I'd use it then.
But it's got a motor, transmission, rear end is probably less than 40,000 miles on it.
That's that old style Ford.
I know which one he's talking about, yeah.
So what me and Roger had talked about doing last week was going ahead and taking Medic 2 off the road and going ahead and because 8 will be the truck that'll replace it while it's being remounted anyway. That way, wherever the truck goes to remount, we can drive it to them versus having to pay somebody to tow it to them.
It's just smaller zone thing, but
And you know, and then
It's the oldest one I think we've got.
you know, they may or may not take it on trade-in if
it
it's
was
not
wanting
running.
you to be replaced
And
and
then we would
replaced
have
the
to fix
Freightliner
it.
instead of it and kept it and got rid of the Freightliner. That's why
Yeah.
well, that was with Brian, but it was the one that was supposed to be replaced, but it was in better shape than the Freightliner.
Yeah, it was.
It's still a good old truck.
It is, it runs good, it's just small.
I think it'd probably be money ahead, like you said, to switch it.
Me and him was talking about it, and we're afraid that if we keep pushing it, that Medic 2's not going to make it the 90 days. Because you know, we're looking at 90 days, bids open on the 7th, and if we award it on the 7th and contact them, we're looking, like I said, roughly 90 days before they're going to be ready for the truck.
But that truck its whole life has been a good truck.
It's been a great truck.
I mean, it's just shot.
It's just wore out. All three, well, both of the Chevrolets and the GMC, all three of them are, you know, over 200,000 miles. I mean, they've been great trucks. We've not really had any trouble out of them. If we could still get them, that's what we would probably still be getting. That C4500. I mean, they're a low maintenance vehicle. They just quit making them.
That's the one we bought used, wasn't it?
No, the two Chevrolets, Medic 2 and Medic 6, we bought new. They came from the Carolinas. We had both of them built from the ground up. Medic 7 was the GMC. That was the demo that we bought that they went to Florida. Yeah, when they wrecked the Freightliner.
I know there's one of them, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was a demo. It had like 1,400, 1,500 miles on it, where they took it around to shows and stuff like that.
While we're on trucks, I just need to get an approval, but we're going to have an auction for the highway department. Our company's going to be doing it in Donald Hills. We got about 20 pieces for Levy to sell. And we're doing it, just let you know, free of charge, there's no charge, we're doing it free. And we need to take that, we need to get approved with our safety committee meeting. But that old chassis, it's out there behind the building.
International.
Yeah, we need approval, just go ahead.
Right.
We're gonna stick it in that auction and just let it, because it's sitting there rotting down, and we need to get it out of Preston's way for one thing, and he's gonna get it started in this week sometime, but is that all
Went
right?
through the surplus.
I'm sorry?
It done went through the surplus, where they've got that list together,
I talked to him about it. I don't know if he's put it through it or not, but he did have it on the list. I don't know if they
'cause I know
took
got
it
rid
off
of-
or not.
But that other truck last week.
Yeah.
Sold it at auction.
I know the last inventory, it was still on the inventory list, but it was marked that it was not in use and everything, and they were just gonna go ahead and take it off. They took the Dodge pickup off and sold it on the gov deals. It's gone. They came and picked it up, a guy from Ohio.
What did it end up bringing? Last bid I think was 705.
Right at 900.
Okay.
So it's gone to somewhere in Ohio. And then we've got some of the older computers and some copiers and stuff, and he came out and done some pictures on them, and he was fixing to put them on the gov deals. Stuff most of it doesn't work. There's a few things that might work, but most of it's stuff that's been took out of service.
I just always having that auction, why not stick it in there and get rid of it and get it out of his way? If that's all right with y'all, if it ain't, but I mean.
Well, I don't care, I just want to make sure it goes through, I can't think of his name now, but does all the surplus and make sure we do it legally.
Yeah. I'll go
So I
talk to
guess we
him
can do a
again this
motion
week.
that
He's wanting me to-
if it's through if it passes through his committee, go and make sure that it's stuff removed off the list, and because I don't want to be like we did with the sheriff's department a few years ago. They come in and had a whole bunch of titles, couldn't find no vehicles that they owned. Didn't know if it'd been scrapped or what. So if it's, what's that called?
Financial management, you follow the service.
Yes, if it goes, if financial management agrees with it, I don't think we will do a vote on it, have a problem with it. Is that what you want?
That's fine. I just was, while we had that auction, get rid of it. And
I
said,
agree, it's
stick
a
it in.
eyesore right there.
Does that money go back to general fund, or does it come back to our?
Goes back, it'll come back in the ambulance fund.
It will come back.
If you got highway equipment goes in highway, but now, just like the sheriff's department's in the general fund, it'll come back to the general fund.
That's correct.
But anybody's got their own fund, sanitation, ambulance, or highway, it'll go back in their fund.
Do we have the right to approve that tonight? It still has to go in front of,
Would that have to go in front?
Will it have to? Because
It has to. Any surplus, since you passed the 81 Act, any surplus material
gotta
has to go
go.
through financial
So
management.
we gotta have a resolution to send it forward to financial management for approval to sell it to the auction.
If we approve it, yes.
I don't think I've seen anything.
We've done some ambulance stuff the last time.
No.
Well, I don't see no use of collecting them. And, we've talked once about putting a flatbed on it and doing this and that.
If it's with the
Sometimes
proper procedures, let it go.
You just have so many
That's
vehicles.
why I said the motion to send it, if it approves through here, we send it to financial management, and they approve it, then when is your auction?
we haven't got on the books still, it'll be a while.
Okay. That it goes, as long as it goes to the proper channels, like everybody said.
Let me write this down here.
Do I have a motion on the floor?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second? Second. All agree and say aye. Opposed, lifetime. They're ready to get through. You're right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. And Chris will know what this is. It has been brought to my attention that the billing at the ambulance service is wanting to know why they're having to keep the offices to 5 o'clock, open till 5 o'clock when the rest of the offices in the county stay open to 4:30. And they want to know if there's any way we could set their hours from 8 to 4:30 instead of 8 to 5.
Well,
And
Average
that's
person
Monday
gets off
through
work.
Thursday and Friday, they stay open till 5.
how late does the bank stay open?
Well, that's,
I mean, you know, people, they get off Apple
The
Factory.
reason we said it at 5 is when people got off work, they'd have time to go by and pay a bill. That's why we said at 5.
well, they asked because the rest of the county building, this building here closes at 4:30,
Except for Friday.
except for Friday, and that's what they said they wanted to do, same as the rest of the county.
Well, I don't see a problem with that if that's what the rest of the county's set on.
Yeah. And that's another reason I was here today.
What is that, 30-minute lunch?
They get an hour lunch.
How do they get an hour lunch?
Since we passed this, January the 4th, they've had a total of 12 people come in, that was as of today.
What do we need them then? Do we need one person out there still 2.5? You know, we gotta have 2.5 people out there, but they ain't got nothing to do. But we gotta have the people. Then we gripe about when we get to work. We used to come in at 6 and leave at 1:30, and we try to set hours. They want an hour lunch, but they want to leave in 8 hours. Don't work that way, in my opinion.
All county employees get, here gets an hour lunch. They just want to be saying, here's the rule book, take the county rule book.
They just want to be like everybody else.
They will be the same as everybody else.
Everybody else works 8 to 4:30,
Yep.
and they get an hour lunch.
Yep.
That's what the offices up here run.
I talked to Linda and talked to several of them today.
And stay open till 5 on Friday.
We'll stay open to 5 on Friday.
Do we still have 2.5 employees out there?
Yes.
Well,
What Carl's counting up, he can read that there.
7.5 hours a day, 8 on Friday,
He was up 38 hours.
plus a 9 o'clock break and a 2:30 break too.
No.
I thought when we got this new billing in,
38-hour week.
Right.
look at my notes from last month, but I thought we got this new billing with AMB services, that was going to alleviate some of that out there.
It will.
It will, it just hasn't.
They told us whenever the AMB was here, they said that it typically took about 5 to 6 months for them to be the sole biller, because like people we're billing right now, they're still going to be following up on that for the next 3 or 4 months. Like where some are going to send payments, you know, they're going to say, hey, we're going to pay you $50 a month for the next 3 months, 4 months to pay our bill off. We still have to follow up with all those. They don't actually go back and pick anything up before they start doing the billing, so we still have to do that. And they told us that typically after about 5 to 6 months was where you would see the workload decrease. And like I said, you know, we told them we had 2 full-time and then 1 part-time.